Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna be doing some WWE2K16 universe mode planning. So what's going on with this universe mode? Well, first let me contact my buddy, the Game Troller Prime. Okay guys, okay, that was weird. I had a bit of a cough and before, and then push comes to shove, and then I turn into Christian Bale, throat cancer Batman. But anyway, welcome to WWE 2K16 Universe Mode plans. I already did a video on this, but it was like, it didn't really feel complete and stuff. So yeah, I added a lot more people, and I changed up a couple things. Uh, it's somewhat the same from the last time, but it's mostly different. So get things started, we don't have the quote unquote draft. It's not really a draft, it's just the starting roster. I'll do drafts like every couple months or something like that, but yeah. So the Raw slash main roster, because I'm having main roster in NXT and SmackDown's just like a sideshow. So yeah. On Raw we have John Cena, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, Sheamus, Shawn Michaels, Bray Wyatt, Edge, Christian, Ric Flair, Triple H, Batista, Mark Henry, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, Big Show, Xavier Woods, Big E, and Kofi Kingston, The New Day. Vader, Shane McMahon, Cactus Jack, Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Rikishi, Goldust, Stardust, The Miz, Damian Mizdow, Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, Kane, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar, Billy Gunn, X-Pac, Booker T, The Undertaker, The Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold, Dolph Ziggler, DDP, and that's it for the main roster, male roster. Then we have Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, Paige, Tamina, Naomi, Stephanie McMahon, and Natalia. But depending on if I can actually make them or if I can get community creations and download them, I also want Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks. I'm not exactly the best with making calls. My best call was Bray Wyatt, and he looked it didn't exactly look perfect. So yeah, but I'm terrible, especially with making a female like diva calls, because I was getting like crazy, just like making a ton of weird things. Um, so that's a roster of 55, including the free calls that I want. If I can make them or download them from Community Creations, that'd be fantastic. I can't get Community Creations on 2K14 because bought it a bit late, and then I got my PSN this year, which means that I couldn't like get it for like when it came out or whatever. So yeah. So on moving on to NXT, we have Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Hideo Itami, Neville, Rusev, Cesaro, and Tyson Kidd, Tyler Breeze, Bo Dallas, Aiden English, Simon Gotch, Enzo Amore, Big Cass, Baron Corbin, Sin Cara, Kalisto, Curtis Axel, Fandango, Adam Rose, Zack Ryder, Heath Slater, Connor and Victor, Ryback, R-Truth, Ken Shamrock, William Regal, Bad News Barrett, Jack Swagger, Fit Finley, Jimmy and Jay Uso, and then we're heading into the Diva roster. Actually, the Diva roster on this seems to be bigger on this, including the cost. But we have Eva Marie, Emma, Summer Rae, Alicia Fox, Cameron, Layla, and then same thing with Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha. Nia Jax, Bailey, and Asuka. So those are pretty much everybody on my roster. I got 55 on the main roster, and then 42 on the NXT roster. Doing pretty well. You have a 120 roster people. So yeah, I can't get DLC. That was just an impossibility. So yeah. Now for the tag teams and stables, you probably encountered a couple of them a couple of them. On the main roster, we have the New Day, Xavier Woods, Big E, and Kofi Kingston. Then we have the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. The Primetime Players, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. The Brotherhood, Goldust and Stardust. the Hollywood, the Miz and Damien Mizdow, ENC, Edge and Christian, the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart, and British Bulldog. I don't think was in the actual roster. I swear I put British Bulldog. Well, I rebooted the roster, probably it's not in there. Just add British Bulldog to the main roster. Don't matter. Evolution, Randy Orton, Ric Flair, and Batista. DX, Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, and Billy Gunn. Of course, finally, The Authority, a must. Seth Rollins, Kane, Shane McMahon, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. Mr. McMahon isn't in there. Then on NXT, we have Enzo and Big Cass, The Ascension, Connor and Victor, the Lucha Dragons, and Karen Kalisto, the Vaudevillains, Aiden English and Simon Gotch, which I think I didn't actually add. Oh, no, they were in there. Okay, good. Um, then we have Cesaro and Kid, the United Kingdom, returning from WWE 12, William Regal, Fit Finlay, and BNB. Then we have a custom tag team, which I just felt like was too good, especially for the theme song. Got the dancing models, Fandango and Bertella Breeze. Now, I want you to think of the theme song that they're going to have and be extremely wrong when I say it's going to be Dancing Queen. So, then we have the Usos, Jimmy and Jay Usos, and that's it for the tag teams. And now for the champions, the bit you've been waiting for. On the main roster, we have the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, of course. The Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels. Yeah. The Divas Champion Nikki Bella. And then the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Wyatt Family, which is, of course, just Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Then for NXT, we have the NXT Champion Finn Balor, United States Championship Champion, which is on NXT, but I think will just be on both rosters, just, for reasons. Rusev. Then we have the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Ascension, and then the NXT Women's Champion, Layla. I just put it on Layla just in case I can't find good cause or make good cause for Sasha and stuff. I'll probably even make like Dana Brooke and Alexa Bliss and Carmella, and of course everybody's favorite Blue Pants. But anyway, also I planned out my first matches for the first week of Universe Mode. So once I record that, no surprises. Then the first matches on Raw, which is of course the main show. We have Randy Orton taking on Sheamus and Shane McMahon. Three heels, by the way, they're all heels. In a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship, which is held by Shawn Michaels, which is in DX, and Randy Orton and Shane McMahon are in Evolution and the Authority respectively. And Sheamus isn't there because I don't really feel like putting Bray Wyatt. Then we have Edge and Christian taking on the New Days, Biggie and Kofi Kingston, of course, with Xavier Wood at their side, for a number one contenders match for the WWE Tag Team Championships, which is held by, of course, the Wyatt family. Then we have a tune-up match, which is between Shawn Michaels and Dolph Ziggler. A little special stipulation: if Dolph Ziggler can beat Shawn Michaels, he has another match on SmackDown to just solidify his place in the championship match at Extreme Rules. Then we have a number one contenders match for the WWDC, aka Divas Championship, between Paige and Natalia. It should be a good match. Then we have the main event, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship number one contenders match between John Cena, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and the wild card Bret Hart. Daniel Bryan and Bret Hart had a killer match in 2K14 Universe mode on the pre-show of Hell in a Cell. Like that was the match of the year. That match, and it was placed there. I shouldn't have done that. That could have been main event of WrestleMania quality. That was so good. So yeah, that's it for Raw, and then on NXT. You may think, what? Why does Raw have 5 matches? Because well, on Universe mode, at least in 2K14, there was always this thing, which I guess makes sense, that you couldn't edit the first show's match card number, so you can't add like extra matches to it, which is a real shame. If it doesn't do that, I probably will add a couple more filler matches. Then on NXT we have Jack Swagger taking on Ryback for a number one contenders match for the United States Championship, followed by Rusev. Then we have Baron Corbin taking on Hideo Itami in a tune-up match And by tune up, I mean just a filler match, I guess, just for kicks. Then, just to give it a momentum and stuff. Cesaro and Kid taking on the Usos in a number one contenders match for the NXT Tag Team Championships, held by the Ascension. Then we have Emma with Samurai taking on Alicia Fox with Cameron for the number one contenders match for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm not gonna explain that right now because I don't have enough time. Why Samurai and Emma and Alicia Fox are with Cameron? Just know that is pretty much copying real life. With the whole factions Diva Evolution thing. Then we have Tyler Breeze with Fandango, dancing models, dancing queen. It should be the Dancing Kings, but whatever. Taking on Enzo Amore with Big Cass in a feud match because they're going to be facing each other at NXT Arrival. I forgot to mention NXT and Raw will have separate pay-per-views because, yeah. And then, of course, the main event of NXT, Sami Zayn taking on Neville, taking on Kevin Owens, taking on Bo Dallas in a fatal four-way, and one contenders match for the NXT Championship. Winner of that gets to take on Finn Balor. Then on SmackDown, we have Randy Orton or Sheamus or Shane McMahon from the Triple Threat on Raw taking on Dolph Ziggler. Now, this was the thing I'm talking about. This is optional, by the way. I forgot to actually add the sixth match. This is optional, of course, because of the Shawn Michaels Dolph Ziggler match on Raw. If Dolph Ziggler beat Shawn Michaels, I think it would only be fair to actually let him be in line for the championship. So I said to myself, okay, if he beats Shawn Michaels, obviously he has some form of skill. So I'm putting up, and I already had a number one contenders match for the IC championship. So I decided, hey, why don't I just stick him against the number one contenders match, number one contender for the IC champion, and make it a number two contenders match for the IC championship. So it'll be a triple threat if he wins. Of course, that's the first match on SmackDown, optional, by the way. Technically, from what I had made, it'll be a four-match show. So we have in the next match Bray Wyatt with Luke and Eric taking on Christian with Edge or Xavier Woods with Big E, of course, referring to Raw as well. Number one contenders match for in a feud slash tune-up match. Then we have Brie Bella with Nikki Bella taking on Paige or Natalia. Of course, no one contender for the Divas champion, but one of them. Then we have Rusev taking on with Lana taking on The Miz in just a tune-up match, and then we have Kane with Seth Rollins taking on the number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in, of course, a feud match. So yeah, that's it for NXT. I have a bit of time left remaining. So yeah, so how am I gonna organize this? That I'll have 6 or 7 matches on Raw, depending on which I decide to do. Then it's 6 matches on NXT, only 6 matches, and sometimes probably I'll just make 5 matches. Then on SmackDown it'll be 4 or 5 because it's a sideshow, and then the pay-per-views, of course, it's gonna be 7 matches, but it's gonna be like 3 weeks for at least the first month. In 3 weeks' time, the first NXT pay per view will happen, and then the week after that will be the main roster pay per view, and then it will be sort of like that for the rest of the year. Of course, I'll give you guys the list for the pay per views and such afterwards, but for right now, that's it for me. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you later.